Ta-da!
Hey, ta-da.
Hello.
Oh, it
Hi,
worked.
everyone. Yeah, it worked. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's Learning Space. I'm Nicole Galucci, your postdoc at CosmoQuest, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host in the office next door, Georgia Bracey.
Hello, everybody.
And we are going to talk about some of our favorite apps for doing and learning astronomy. I've gotten a whole bunch of suggestions from you guys already via the comments in various places and Twitter and the whatnots. So I'm going to tell you right off the bat now, I will not be sharing any links until the end of the show because I have about 18 tabs open right now, and you don't want to sit here and watch me typing. So I will share this entire list of all your favorites after the show on, oh gosh, where are we going to do that? I guess on the event page. I can go ahead and edit the description on the event page, the description of the Hangout on the CosmoQuest event page. I'll add it there. Maybe I'll do a blog post too. So go
That
to
will work. Yeah.
Let's do a blog on the Educator Zone. We don't do that enough.
No, and that would be a great thing. And it would
Yeah.
be good if if you guys want to comment because you want to add some more, tips and advice about using some of these apps and different sorts of environments where they can be used, different age groups, things you've done with them. I mean, all of that kind of stuff would be great to have and would be a little more than we could just post, on the event.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a blog would be excellent.
So I'll blog on the. So if you go to cosmoquest.org, click Educate and Educator Zone, there's a blog over there, and I will post all the links there for sure afterwards, probably tonight. I think I'm done blogging about the supernova in M82 for now. So
The what?
the what? There was a supernova? The what? Yeah, if you didn't already hear, there was a supernova that went off in M82. It was announced early this morning, U.S. time, although it's been seen as early as several days ago in many amateur astronomer images, including the Virtual Star Party.
Yeah.
So good job, guys. Seeing it on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So be sure to follow that news. That's going to be pretty exciting the coming days and weeks ahead.
Right.
For your M82. And the Weekly Space Hangout, I'm sure we'll talk about it for like half an hour. So tune in Friday.
Yeah.
If you want to leave a comment on this show, there are too many places to do that, so we're going to ask you if you are watching this to use the Q&A app on Google+. If you're watching this somewhere, it should have the little Q&A app on the Hangout event page. We went through this madness last week on the Space Hangout. You use the Q&A app.
Too.
Yeah, we need to blog things.
Oh, to comment.
Yeah, so use the Q&A app, or if you're on the event page on Google+, you can use that as well. I will watch those two sources as carefully as I can. If you tweet at me or post on YouTube, I might see it, I might not. So the best place is the Q&A app and the event page on Google+, so we can add your recommendations, answer your questions as we go along. I think that's it for top matter. Do you have one you want to start with, or would you like me to start?
Well...
Oh, by the way, so we're talking mobile apps here, although we may talk about a few more computer apps. She has an iPhone, I have an Android, so we've got those two pretty much covered. We're going to try.
Yeah, well, I would say I have an older iPhone, so
okay.
As I was going through things today, I noticed, oh, this one is better with the more current iPhone, which I don't have. But I will start with a simple one, though, that I always liked. I love the app for the astronomy picture of the day, the APOD app, because it's, and I don't know, I mean, I should try to pull it up on my phone, but maybe that won't be as helpful as it sounds.
And that's pretty easy to find.
The APOD app, right, I know, they're easy to find and easy, Google it and you know where to download it and all that. But it's great because if you like the APOD, the picture of the day that you can just see on the website, it's always some gorgeous, great picture. And then there's a nice little paragraph or two written by an astronomer that tells you a little bit about it. And it's just interesting, and it's not always what you think. Like for today, for example, there's a lovely snowy picture of the superstorm of 1938, something like that. Anyway, so sometimes it's it's more weather related, but it's Earth, space.
Earth's a planet.
Yeah, so it's all connected. And then just always really interesting. So the app, of course, will download that picture and then you can hit a little button, and it'll flip over, and it'll give you that information about it. So that's just kind of a nice, easy one. You can get, every morning, see what the picture of the day is right on your phone. So this is kind of a cool thing. It'll archive a bunch of pictures, so you can hang on to your favorites.
Cool.
And so that's just kind of a nice, easy one that is fun.
So APOD, Astronomy Picture of the Day, has been around since, I want to say, the mid-90s.
It has. It
was started, we should have them on the show. I feel like we may have, not Learning Space, but I feel like they were on another hangout at some point that I saw about how they were doing Astronomy Picture of the Day way before all this social media thing and these mobile things. So it's been going for many, many years. Great way to get a gorgeous astronomy image every day. So looks like there's both Android and iPhone apps for that. So
yeah, you can share. Of course, you can share the image, all that good stuff. Get all the information about it. So I like it. I like it a lot. It's fun. It's easy.
I'm gonna go into my science folder. What's that? You check it every day?
Changes every day. So yeah.
So I'm gonna go into my science apps folder on here. And I'm gonna go right up front and promote our new CosmoQuest app. Android users, this is in the Play Store. iOS users, it is coming. Like as soon as they approve it, it is coming. It's been written. This app is Earth or Not Earth. So, there we go. Earth or Not Earth. Ta-da! So we've been talking about this for a few weeks since Joseph Moore finished this up as his master's project for computer science. And he just put version 2, I think, on the Android store yesterday. So if you've already downloaded it, you want to download it again. Bunch of new features, including the ability, hopefully, if it works, thank you, Guido, the ability to save it on your SD card, because when you start downloading lots of images, it can take up a bit of space. You can, I think there's also a new capability that allows you, to play the game without signing in using your CosmoQuest login. But if you have a CosmoQuest login, and you sign in with that, you can save your high scores between devices and share them share them with your friends on Facebook and brag about it and all that fun stuff. Basically, this is a game. It's a game and an educational app. It's based on the planetary surface vocabulary cards that Irina Antonenko made up for us a while back. They're these really gorgeous. Let me see if I can bring one up. They're these really gorgeous pictures of. Let's go to Rocky Worlds. Different planetary surface features. Most of them, and I think where we got a lot of these images is from the NASA Planetary Photo Journal, I think, which is just this huge repository of images from all the landers and rovers and orbiters and stuff. So these planetary surface cards, it's got some planetary image. I can hide the description so you can see the whole thing. So there's Olympus Mars. And it's got a description written by a planetary scientist about the thing that you're looking at. So it started with this idea, but it became a game called Earth or Not Earth, which is also part of the Terra Luna unit, or Moon Mappers educational unit. Right. Which, so that's the easy version of the game. It's you get a picture, and we've made it in black and white just to make it a little bit harder. And you have to tell us, is this Earth or is it not Earth? Is it Earth? Is it not Earth?
I'm going to say not.
Not Earth? This is Mars! Correct! So you can go to the vocabulary card to learn more about it, or you can click Next and get to the next picture, and you do it again. You do it until I think you get 10 wrong. You do it until you get a bunch wrong, and then it gives you a high score based on how many you got right at that point. We've got a few hundred images in there and are looking to expand that, assuming I'm doing that when I get a chance. There's a couple harder games too. Matching gives you the image and asks you either what body in the solar system is it, or what geological feature is it, and then the last one, pick two, is really hard. It shows you a bunch of tiles, and you have to match the two that are from the same planetary body, and that one's still a challenge for me, even though I help dig up most of the pictures. Because when you help dig up most of the pictures, it's kind of easy to do.
Yeah, but it's funny, as many times as I've seen a lot of those pictures, it's still, they're amazingly, in a sense, they're similar, because it's just a certain kind of feature, and you're like, well, that could be on this planet or that planet or the
Yep.
moon, because they all share these features. So it's not as easy as you might think, even if you've seen the pictures a few times. And actually, I liked that last version. It's timed, so there's
Yes.
like that added sense
And you
of,
can get negative points if you do it
competitive
wrong.
edge to it. I have to, So I actually like that last one the best.
Yeah, that's pretty
Spent a
fun.
little time with it I think a week ago or so, when he was, tweaking it.
Testing. So
Hmm.
to show you that an iOS version does exist, here's my iPad. Here's Earth or Not Earth, the test version. So you guys can't have that. That's the one Joe put on. But they are applying to put it in the App Store, so we'll be ready to announce that once it goes through. I don't develop apps. I don't know what all the steps are, but I'm sure there were things happening. So there you go. So this app and this app, the proceeds from this app, bleh. The proceeds from this app, once Google takes its Play Store cut, and I guess the Apple Store takes its iOS Store cut, all goes towards developing present and future educational and science projects on CosmoQuest. So it helps us out. It pays our fabulous programmer Joe for all the hard work he's done, and it keeps us making more good stuff. So that's Earth or Not Earth. It's on the Android Store now, the Play Store now, and it's coming to the iOS Store soon.
Yeah,
So
it also
yeah,
showcases Irene's fabulous cards.
right,
Those are just so nice. Lots of good information and beautiful pictures.
right.
So even if you just look through the cards and
And those are in color.
look at
Those are in color.
look at some great pictures of the solar system and read and learn about it. Those are fantastic.
Yep.
Fantastic. So,
I especially like the part where you can post your scores on Facebook and challenge your friends to do better. That's just me. That's just me.
That's what I did.
All right. So that's my first one. Do you want to do another one?
Let's see. I don't know how much I've used this one, but I do think it's really cool. It's just called, yes, what is it called? Moon Globe. Thank you. Thought it had a fancier name than that.
Was it called Moon Globe?
Moon Globe.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the people in our local astronomy club kind of told me about this one, and it's exactly, what it says. It's the Moon Globe. Woo! And the neat thing is, it has all the craters, all the features labeled. The more you zoom in, the more millions of craters you see, and they're all labeled. So one thing, I love to go out and look at the moon, and I always wonder, what's that crater? I really do. There's tons of craters up there, and I just thought, it'd be nice if I knew which one that was, and who was that named after, because they have some amazing names. So this app will show you the moon, all the crater names. You can of course, see all the aspects. You can see the other side of the moon that you don't usually get to see. It will show you the phase of the moon, given the date, your location, what you're going to actually see in the sky. Or you can just use it almost like an encyclopedia. You can just look at the whole moon, just like a big map, big 3D map. So it's a lot of fun. I'm trying to think of...
Now, these don't get quite as high resolution as the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter images, because I don't think any of those craters are big enough to be named. Right? Like what you see over on Moon Mappers.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. But it looks really... and it's some of the stuff you just, you see when you look up at the sky, you look through your telescope, and you're just wondering, what in the world you're actually looking at. And so you can, spin it around. You can see the very heavily cratered, other side of the moon that we don't.
Oh, that's cool.
To see. So it's a lot of fun, and it's again, it's a good beginner's app, kind of like the APOD, because it's simple, it's easy. So I tend to like those.
I'm going to, if there's an Android version, I'm going to find that and use that when I do star parties, because I'll put the moon with the Terminator, and people are like, wow, craters, what's that one? And I'm like, I don't know, sadly. So
well, and in addition to the crater naming, it will show you, and again, I don't know how well you can see this, but it'll show you where all the spacecraft are that have landed on the moon.
Nice.
So
Does it have
again,
Chang'e? Does it have
not that you can see the
Chang'e?
spacecraft, of course, but you can look and say, yeah, that's where it is.
Cool. Yeah. Again, you need the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter to see the spacecraft themselves.
Very true, very true. So you have to use your imagination a little bit, but still, you know, that people ask that. People, you know, they want to know what they're looking at, and then, you know, is there anything else there? Is that where, you know, where's Apollo 16? Where's, you know, Luna, whatever? And you can tell them, well, you know, there's a few right there. You can't really see them, but they are there.
Well, that's cool because I think in Moon Mappers we're still using the image. I may be wrong. I apologize, Stuart, if I'm wrong. For a while we were using images all centered around the Apollo 15 landing site for the crater mapping for the first work that went down in Moon Mappers. So our
right.
project. So you could look at the moon and be like, that's where Apollo 15 is. That's the little patch that we've been studying. For, you know, had people, citizens counting craters on.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go.
Helping to map that part right there.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna open up. We also have we have a Moon Mappers app. Here you go. So back to the science folder. This was an earlier app that Joe did. This one's free on the Android store again. I don't think I don't know if there's an iOS version in the works. I know it was planned, but if you have Android, this one is free. And it's Moon Mappers Crater Decay. So if you are doing citizen science with Moon Mappers on CosmoQuest, there is a second level that you can do on your mobile device that picks the craters that have been identified and asks you for how eroded they look. And so it gives you a crater here in the crosshairs, and you have to pick, is it like really sharp? Is it kind of eroded? Is it not even there at all? Blah, blah, blah. So you go ahead and pick those and submit those. And you get cute little badges, which are, I think a lot of them are rockets. I was very excited when I got the Saturn V badge. So you get badges as you go along. This does require a CosmoQuest login, since it ties into, or at least right now because it ties into the citizen science projects that we do on the website. So Moon Mappers Crater Decay, also on the Android store. This one's free. And you can actually be doing citizen science while you're standing in line at the grocery store or at the bank or wherever people stand in line.
You truly can, yeah. You could be doing science on the go.
Yeah, we run around at Dragon Con with this and talk to people who are waiting in autograph lines. Like, hey, so while you're waiting to meet Richard Dean Anderson or whoever is in line right in front of us, why don't you help us do some science?
Yeah.
So that's our Moon Mappers app. I'm excited to see what else Joe comes up with, because that was kind of his thing, was to take on the mobile app development for CosmoQuest. So I'm pretty excited because it could be in my pocket.
Do you know who thought of the idea of looking at crater degradation? Do you have any? Was that?
I want to say it came from the principal investigators, Stuart and Irene, but I'm not entirely sure. I think that decision was made before my time, so I'm not sure. But it's definitely an interesting. It's definitely an interesting question that the scientists are looking at. Is not only where the craters are, how big they are, but also how eroded they are.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
So that's that one. You have another one?
Let's see. I got a bunch. So there's a bunch that I've kind of looked at but not really used a lot, and they're all, you know, there's many star maps, ways to find your way around the sky that are available, and this one I've got is Star Map Lite.
Ooh.
And, of course, it's light because it's free. There is a one that and I don't even know what I can't remember now if it was $2.99 or $4.99. It wasn't horrible or anything. Oh, here we go. It's telling me, hello, would you like to unlock all the features for only $4.99? So if you would like to unlock all the features for $4.99, you could do that. But I'm going to be cheap and not do that right now. I might do that later. And so then, yes, if you don't unlock all the features, you also get a few ads. So, but that's okay. Otherwise, what this does is, of course, uses your location, gives you a nice star map to let you see the constellations that are visible right now in the sky. It will show you planets. You can toggle on and off constellation diagrams, very simple, like stick figure sort of diagrams, or you can put the very beautiful Greek figure, traditional pictures up there if you like to look at that too. Shows you the planets that are currently visible, has star names, just your basic nice map of the sky. You can just sort of swirl it all around and see anything that you need to see. So it's really handy. And I don't know what I don't think this one will do is turn everything red. So that you don't sort of blast your night vision, as can so often happen during a star party. That's either not this app or it's one of the features that I have not unlocked yet. So
that's an important.
Actually, feature. I looked at about. I know. I would want that feature. So I may have to pay for that. But
when you come to my star party to see the supernova,
apps like this, and yeah, that is a good feature if. Yeah. You can get an app with that because it really does help. So this is just, and this will tell you like what's available for viewing tonight. So it has a nice little screen, kind of like this.
Look at that.
These are all the different objects, and so on the left and right you see, of course, the lighter blue is the daylight time, and then the dark blue in the center is the dark time, nighttime, and so it will kind of tell you from what hour to what hour something is visible. So we've got Jupiter, lots of lovely winter stars, Sirius, Capella, Rigel, Betelgeuse, all that good stuff, and approximately when they're going to be at zenith in the sky. So very helpful too if you just want to get your observing list going. It's got deep sky objects on it, which is very nice too if you're in a dark site. And I think that's about it. So that's, of course, I think one of the simpler ones. Again, one of the simpler apps for this. Cool. I like that. Star Map Lite.
Star Map Lite, and the entire Star Map family.
Yeah.
Star Map, Star Map Pro, and Star Map Media. Yes, I mean, there's a website. I'll include that again in our blog post after this.
Okay. Nice. Yeah.
All the Star Map family. We have a comment from Guido. One day the whole Moon Mappers website will run on tablets. I can dream, can't I? I think it does now, right? It's not as easy. So the CosmoQuest Citizen Science pages should run on tablets. I've done it. If you have a stylus, it works a little better, but it's not as precise as if you have a mouse. You can do CosmoQuest crater mapping on a tablet. It's just
I have not tried that.
Fidgety.
Wow.
I've done it. It's just fidgety. I prefer my mouse and my computer screen.
Right. I could see that being a little. You need some patience.
Yeah.
For that.
So yeah. So there you go. So you can do it on a tablet. It's just maybe not as precise.
Okay.
But you can do the crater decay, and that's simple. Pick one of 4. Yeah. So we had lots of commenters on what group did I post on? The Giant Space group on Google+. And people sent in their suggestions. A lot of them are similar to Star Map in that they get you around the night sky, and that's one of the ways in which these are super, super useful because you have your phone with you. Not everybody has a planisphere or a star map with them. I don't know why not. Kidding. I shamelessly open Google Sky Map when I'm out there doing public observing. I just have no shame. It's like, what's that? I'm gonna check. Mobile devices know where you're located. They know what time you're in. They're pretty good about figuring out what direction they're pointing at. I can't actually, so you can't actually see the screen because Google Sky Map I do have set to dim and redden so dark that you can't see anything in here.
Yeah.
But because I do use it a lot when I'm outside. So Google Sky Map is one. Star Map is one. Let me see if I can go through. Mars Rover Celebration on Twitter pointed out that Sky Safari is a very popular one. I think I grabbed, every once in a while they do a sale, because Sky Safari has a free version and it has, or maybe a cheaper version and more expensive versions. I managed to pick up one of them when it was on sale before the holidays. I think Guido pointed that one out as well. So Sky Safari is a popular one.
I've got another one, Distant Suns, of course,
Oh,
light.
Distant Suns.
Me.
This is
Uh,
also a viewing app, like a viewing the
yep.
sky.
Sky Map has seems to have a few more features to it. It has what they're calling a SETI sort of toggle switch, where it will show you the parts of the sky where, gosh, if you can find it, where Kepler was looking for planets.
Oh, okay.
So it has a few extra features. It will also pull in more current events,
Okay.
and it will load. So it spends a few minutes telling you when you first started up that it's loading cool stuff. So it tries to pull in any current events in the astronomy world that are going on, but I don't see anything about the supernova.
Okay.
It
So
has
distant.
It has a scroll across the top that looks like sort of astronomy news.
Okay. So
So
distant
that's
suns
Distant
is another
Sun,
one.
and again, it's light. So I'm sure if you wanted to pay a few
Mm-hmm.
bucks, it'd be good. Yes, the
There.
astronomy popularizer John Dobson dies January 16th.
The Mars rover celebration also included Sky View. There's like sky every word possible. So Sky View is another one. This one is billed as an augmented reality space exploration app that lets you use your iDevice. You can hold it up in the air and discover stars, constellations, planets, and satellites. So there's various different iOS versions of Sky View. There's also Redshift. This one has lots of funky planet pictures. Let me open this up. So Redshift is also on the iOS store. Oh man, what else did you guys
Nice.
recommend?
We've got another star
Mm-mm-mm.
chart one. Let's
Hang
see.
on, I seriously have 18 different tabs open. So Skyview, Sky Safari, Redshift, Distant Suns. Oh, here's the. If you're on a computer, I mean, we were talking about mostly about mobile apps, but when you're on the computer, Stellarium is still a favorite for free planetarium software. And
Star chart is one. It's free,
Star Trek.
similar to Star Walk, just another night sky, find your way around kind of thing. Um, displays things in real time, but also includes a time shift feature that lets you see what the sky will look like 10,000 years into the past or future, which would be really cool.
Oh my gosh. Let's
And
see.
that's, iOS or Android for that one.
There's Sky, where Sky is pronounced
Just
Skeye, as in SKI. This is an Android app that aims to be an advanced planetarium that utilizes the powerful mobile platforms. That one was recommended by Russell Bateman over on the Space Group. So that's another one. Lots and lots of lunar. There's another Lunar Map HD. Solar System 3D is another one that was recommended. This isn't quite now. We're moving away from the here's what's up in the sky right now, but exploring the solar system. So the Solar System 3D kind of lets you zoom around in the solar system and see the planets and the moons and fun things like that. So there's more on the educational side as well.
Yeah. Yep, well, and there's just a good old NASA app which pulls in all kinds of stuff on their missions, different images, videos. You can follow their tweets. You can learn about all their centers, look at their programs. They have news. So it's just NASA, and it's got like 9 different things. You can just pull in whatever you want to keep up with all the things that are going on with NASA. So that's
Very cool.
cool. A little bit of everything.
A little bit of all the things. Here's a different side of observing. There's an app I use called Jove Moons on Android, and I think this has an iOS as well. There's also one I just found while getting ready for the show called Jupiter's Moons. Basically, these apps tell you, so here's my little Jove Moons app. If you're looking at Jupiter right now, all those other little dots are the Galilean moons, and you can click on them to see which moon is which. And this is really useful if you're looking through a small telescope and you see Jupiter and its moons. Or if you're showing that to people and they say, hey, what are those little things lined up around
Yeah.
it? Those are the moons that Galileo discovered 403,
And
I
it'll
can't
tell
know,
you which
5 years ago.
is which, right?
This one does, but not terribly easily. I think you have to kind of click on it and zoom around to get it to show you. You can probably figure it out from the color, but I'm usually cold and don't care. The other one called Jupiter's Moons, I don't know where that one went. Kind of gives you the curves. So it's if you're used to looking at those sky maps like in Sky Telescope where they plot out where the moon curves, and you can see that. So that's really really handy to have some kind of app like that for when you're showing Jupiter. And as you may have seen on George's screen, Jupiter's up all night long right now. It's a great target. It's a great thing to show people because it's, wow, that's a planet, and I can see its clouds, and I can see its moons.
I can see the moons, and then they want it. They always ask, well, which one's which, and it's just like it's like the craters. Well, which, what's that big crater there? They want to know the names, and that always gets me every time because I've always been terrible at trying to memorize. Like,
there's only
which? It's like, oh, I don't know.
There's only 4. It's a lot easier than craters. There's only 4.
True, but it's a little bright dot, so it's like, okay, is that Ganymede?
That's why I have no moons of Jupiter. That's why I have no qualms about pulling out my phone.
Right. Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna tell people where I get my information. I don't have this memorized. That's silly.
Resources. That's all right. At least people are outside.
Michael Jobin says my phone folds in half. So sorry, Michael. These are smartphone apps. Whoops, not foldy phone apps.
Well, that's okay.
Let's see, what else?
I don't know. Did you talk about the one? I've seen people bring like the iPad out to like a sky event, a star party, and they just hold it up to the sky, and it shows you right there what you're looking at, just right above you, and gives you all the names and all that.
Yep, so, as long as the screen's not too bright. I mean,
yeah,
okay.
A few of them do that, and I wish I knew the name of that one.
It might be,
but I don't. Yeah, it's not one that I have, but that would be very cool.
All right, so trying to think. Okay, another tangent off the observing apps. I love being able to point out when the International Space Station is going to go overhead, and there's a couple of apps for that. iOS has ISS Spotter by Media Pilot, and the one I use on Android is ISS Detector Satellite Tracker. All the words. I think this is the one that even has a widget on one of my home screens, and tells me when the next ISS or major iridium flare is going to go overhead, and so it's right there. Of course, it doesn't tell me when it tells me when things happen at 5 a.m. because I'm usually not observing with people at 5 a.m., but that's fine. But that's really cool to be able to point up and be like, hey guys, there's going to be a satellite pass. It's going to be really bright. Or, hey, the International Space Station is going to pass over. We're going to be able to see it. It's just a good idea to check that. Heavens Above is the default web resource for lots of people. But for mobile app, you can also do that quickly on one of these ISS Detector, ISS Spotter apps, because that gives you, like I said, that makes you look really cool, because you're like, I know when the International Space Station's going to come overhead. Yay! Again, you just show them the app, and they can do it too, so that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
So that's those are my favorite space apps. Oh, we did not, and we would be remiss if we did not, since you may have seen it on the screen, this little moon here is the actual moon phase. Many people brought up Phases of the Moon. Yeah, so Universe Today also did an app, Phases of the Moon, available in both stores. There's a free and a pro version. Free has ads, pro is you pay for and get no ads. And it's cool because it shows you the moon phase as it is right now, but you can also scroll backwards and forwards in time and do cool stuff. And if you keep going, you actually see the moon's libation. You can see it rocking around in the sky, which is kind of fun. But that's another one that's just always on one of my home screens, so little moon phase right there. So Phases of the Moon app, Universe Today, I mean, most of you guys have probably heard of that app, but you should check it out if you haven't,
Yeah.
because it's another really useful observing app. Anything else before I continue to ramble? I got more, but I just
Yeah. Those are the ones that I usually use.
okay.
Yeah, because I'm usually just, kind of preparing for what I'm going to go observe when I go out and
Right.
seeing what's available, kind of orienting myself to the sky and the constellations, moon phase, all that. So, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Now, did you, I think we're going to talk about a dark sky.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you?
I have. So I just
That was one I was looking at, but I didn't have the right phone.
Oh, that's sad.
My phone's too old for that one.
Okay.
And
so Globe at Night does a program every year to engage citizen scientists in looking at the night sky and measuring how dark the night sky is near you. So light pollution is obviously a problem for astronomers, but it also can be a safety issue, an economic concern, an issue for local wildlife. Lots of reasons why having too much light pointing in the wrong direction is a bad thing. And so Globe at Night has been, for the past several years now, engaging people in doing that. So Globe at Night has a web app, which is a web page that works well on your mobile phones. You go to the Globe at Night website and go to their web app that lets you take your observations. It's as simple as locating a bright constellation in the sky and picking out, what it looks like and which stars you can see, and submitting your observations that way. So there's Globe at Night's official web app, and then there are two mobile apps, one for Android and one for iOS that they've officially partnered with. Loss of the Night, which you won't be able to see on my screen because it also has an auto dim and red feature. Thank you guys. Loss of the Night, but I can show you the icon because I can't even see it in here. It's too bright. But it's a little owl. Loss of the Night. It's available in something like 11 languages now. They just updated that, and it takes you through the sky and says, "Can you see this star? Can you see this star? Can you see this star?" And you tell it, yes, no, I'm not sure, for all these different stars, and it figures out your sky brightness based on that. So that's Loss of the Night on Android. That pairs with they're pairing with Globe at Night to share data, so that this is part of the Citizen Science Project. And the iOS one is Dark Sky Meter, and I think that's the one you looked at because I don't have an iPhone.
Yeah.
I'm not cool. No, I like my Android device. I love my Android devices. Dark Sky Meter, a Dark Sky Meter in general is a tool that you can use to measure the background brightness of the night sky. And the Dark Sky Meter app, as I understand it, which I haven't actually played with, does that, turns your iPhone into a dark sky meter. So it uses the camera and it calibrates it and it does all the things so that you can take those dark sky measurements and have that be included in the Globe at Night program as well. So that's 3 different ways that you can my brain just broke. 3 different ways that you can take part in this light pollution citizen science.
Yes, with a mobile device. Yes.
Yeah. Ooh, Tom Nathy has a good question. Clear sky or weather apps? Do you have a favorite? I mean, I gotta be honest, I don't use anything specific to astronomy for weather or clear sky. Do you, Georgia?
I don't.
Okay. I use Intellicast.
That's a good.
Weather Underground, and really the there's a website for what's it called?
There's a clear sky clock.
ClearDarkSky.com.
I don't know if they have an app for that. You think probably they do, but that I just don't use it as an app.
They don't have an app for that. ClearDarkSky.com is another one of those things that's been around for a long time. And it is, let me just screen share the page. I have the Edwardsville Observatory up. That's one of our locations on campus, but it pretty much works for all of campus, including my observing site. Can you see that, Georgia? Is it showing on the screen? Okay, yeah. So this little jammy, this you can do in a web browser. You can pull it up in a web browser on your mobile phone. It looks fine. You could totally do that. It's not an app that I know of. If you guys know if they've made an app, tell me. But this is in Edwardsville, and this all these colored bars look a little intimidating at first, but once you get used to it, you see that the top one is your cloud cover, and if it's light blue or white, you don't bother looking at the sky because it's cloudy. And then it gets to darker blue as it clears up, and it shows you time of day. It gives you usually like a day and a half, 2.5 days of predictions. It gives you the transparency, and which is, if there's light cloud cover, if that's going to cause any problems, depending on how you're observing. If you're doing photometry, if you're trying to get accurate brightnesses, you don't want to be out when the transparency stinks. And the scene, which tells you if you're imaging, how fine of a resolution of an imaging can you do, because the atmosphere is doing weird things. So this is really, really interesting for astronomers who are going to be using equipment, or if you are running a Skylab, running some kind of astronomy lab for a campus and whatnot. That's really useful. Not
or
necessarily
you're
mobile.
planning an event, or you're getting ready to tell people, are we going or are we canceling?
Can we go? Can we not? Can we go?
Not perfect, but...
And they make it so that you can embed that little image and it'll auto-update on your website. So I have that auto-updating on our Star Party website for the university, which is pretty cool. So that is, again, not necessarily a mobile app, but I pull it up on my mobile phone all the time on the browser, and it works just fine.
That's
so
good, yeah.
Clear dark sky, if you could find a location near you that has one of these, and yeah, that's good. And then, I depending on how many people I think are going to show up, how iffy the weather is, I will use Intellicast, Weather Underground, weather.com. I will use all the things for determining whether or not I'm going out and dragging the telescopes out. And also this practice too. It really comes with practice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any favorite spacey games? Because we've got a couple people mentioning the Kerbal Space Program, which I've not ever opened because I've heard how addictive it is. And I don't...
I've not heard... Say that again? What is
Kerbal Space Program. You launch these little things called Kerbals. You build a... Fraser needs to talk about this because I don't know much about it. And because he talks about how addictive it is, I've been purposefully avoiding it.
Staying away.
There does not seem to be an Android equivalent of it. But this is Guido Bibra and Eric Biggs talking about this in the Q&A app. There's probably none, but there are some simple games called Space Agency and Simple Rockets, which deal with rocket building. So those are games where you, again, that learning through games technique. I guess you can kind of learn physics from Angry Birds if you tried. But that's a way. These Space Agency Simple Rockets, Kerbal Space Program. You're playing with rocketry. You're learning a little bit of intuitive physics somewhere along the way, I'm sure, and having a good time playing a game and trying to launch your Kerbals into space. But yeah, totally not gonna open that because I need to be addicted to a game. Gosh, what did I forget? Oh, I've got 2 more on here I want to show. Do you mind? Okay. I'm just gonna keep rambling.
No, that's fine. I was gonna say I'm just looking at one. So there's all kinds of blogs and people that tell you the 10 best astro apps and the top 15 astronomy apps. And just saying, there's one here from the UK that says there's an app called UFO World Sightings. So if you want to know where the aliens are landing, where the UFOs are being sighted around the world.
Audio listeners, you're not hearing me facepalm. I'm facepalming right now.
Yeah.
It's fine. I love that stuff. It's fine. But that's interesting because I wonder,
what would be interesting to me is, where are people seeing the most? Where are the most sightings happening? And that could tell you maybe a couple of different things.
Not just where, but what time.
Something about the people and the places there, or maybe there's something going on.
Or with a Venus.
That could be an amusing app.
With Venus coming up in the morning sky, I mean that's gonna cause some UFO reports too. So there you go.
So there's a little different, yeah.
A little something for everybody. Yes, Weather Underground does sound funny. I never thought of it that way.
I know. That's been around forever too.
Yeah. Meteor Counter is another app. On their website, they have all the links to the iOS store. They also have one on the Android store. Meteor Counter is another citizen. I love the citizen science. The citizen science project, which lets you, if you're outside and you see a meteor, you click the thing and it counts a meteor. You click its brightness. Let's see if I can
Okay.
So again, it knows where you are, and it knows what time it is, and you're marking these meteors as they happen. And this is something that the LOTTE team is interested in. LOTTE is the Lunar Atmospheric Dust and Exosphere Explorer. Ha! That is a spacecraft that's currently orbiting the moon and exploring its exosphere. So that's the tenuous, not atmosphere that it has. And since they're interested in what's hitting the moon, things might be hitting the moon at a greater rate if we're seeing more meteors, because we're close to the moon, and so that is actually a citizen science project that's helping out that space program. So Meteor Counter is another observational type app you want to have. So yeah, like I said, we're talking about all these apps. I really only have like 8 on my phone, and one of them is the Next Gen Science Standards, which that I keep on me all the time, I guess, plus the ISS app and the Moon app.
You never know when you're going to need it.
You never know when you're going to need the next generation science standards in your pocket. I mean, come on, there's an app for everything.
Quite true.
Let's see. What else? Yes. One more on my phone. Okay, this is totally cheating. This one's called Model Solar System, and whoever did this app, I love you. Because you enter, if you want to make a scale model solar system, like for a school group or outreach, you enter either the diameter of the sun in inches or the total length in feet. Sorry, rest of the world, it's in
feet. Okay.
Oh no, that's not true. Wait, no, you can toggle.
No metric.
To metric. Or the total length of your model in meters or feet. So if I have a thing that I want to be the sun, I don't know. Say the squirrel is the sun.
Fuzzy sun.
It's the squirrel.
Okay. How many meters in diameter is the squirrel?
About 5 inches across. I'm gonna go with inches. Sorry. I was born here. I can't help it. And then you hit calculate, and it gives you. So you can sit there and find objects of the right size. So if this was the sun, in my scale model, Mercury would be 17 feet away. 17 feet and 2 inches away.
Wow, all right. And what diameter would Mercury be?
0.0174 inches.
Ooh.
So 200ths of an inch.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah. Well, so get out a ruler and start walking. You can make your own model solar system. That doesn't seem...
That's excellent. That's a great teaching app. That's a great one for teachers, because
that way you don't have to sit there and
want to do that, and you want to use the things that you have around. So
yeah, that's totally cool. I love. Anyway, so because I do model solar system a lot, I like that app because it lets me do it really quickly. Yeah, instead of having to do all that. I want to look at the comments. We talked about Kerbal. Eric Briggs says there's I'm not going to be able to pronounce this. There's a free Antikythera mechanism app on the Google Store, and it demonstrates the gear meshing. So it demonstrates the gear meshing, but it doesn't do anything extra or make predictions or anything like that. And assuming I pronounced that correctly, Antikythera mechanism. It's an ancient device that was used to predict astronomical predictions. And it's got gears and stuff. So it looks like somebody recreated that as an app. That's pretty cool.
There's a Galaxy Collider app, which I'm not sure how great it is. It's called Galaxy Collider. And I didn't get that one to try it out, but just because we often talk about what happens when galaxies collide.
All I can find is Gal Crash, which is not mobile.
Yeah. All right. Let me.
Wait, I want to see this. Oh, Galaxy Collider on the app. There we go.
Yeah, on the.
Oh.
I don't know.
Anyone use Galaxy Collider?
Or on the So I don't know. Something to investigate.
Okay, so Galaxy Collider on the iTunes Store looks like it's 99 cents. I would totally pay that just to check it out. It's a so you can it does a does a simulation that visualizes the colliding galaxies. That's really cool. We'll have to check that out. because Gal Crash is a Java
Yeah,
applet,
so
web-based
that's
one that we know is very sciencey.
yes.
Um,
Yeah, that's
it's sciencey.
it's
That's
sciencey. Well, it's more of a simulation,
Yeah,
probably,
that's the
right? I
one
mean,
we use for some of our educational
yeah.
activities. But I'm gonna have to play with that. If anybody uses Galaxy Collider on iOS, comment back and let us know how that works. Although I'll probably play with it at some point. Jim Meeker is asking if anyone knows when You're the Cast will go live, and I checked that, and I don't know much about this. I've heard of it before. It's a launch of high definition cameras to the International Space Station so that you can have near live, real time HD video of Earth from the ISS. I don't know anything about that.
I don't
Sorry.
either. I've
Um,
heard about it, but I don't.
yeah. It has been launched to the ISS, but I haven't heard anything since then.
Hmm.
So we'll have to get back to that. Let's see if there are any other comments. I'm going to try and scroll through. Oh, crikey. Oh no, that's about the supernova. Any other fun apps you can think of? Like I said, we're going to make a list of these.
Let me see. And yeah.
Yeah, we're going to make a list, put it on cosmoquest.org.
And spot the station, right? Or at least
So I have
one
one
version
like
of
that.
that. Telling you when the ISS is visible. Got that.
So yeah, so on cosmoquest.org/x/educators zone, you just go to educate button at the top of CosmoQuest. It'll take you there. We'll put the blog post up there with the list of your recommendations, our recommendations. It's not going to be a top 10, top 15, or anything like that. I'm just going to group them by, I'm going to try and group them by category, like, observing, citizen science, stuff like that. And yeah, you can browse through yourself, play with them. We do encourage buying apps. It's not something I did early on because I was like, I just spent so much money on this phone. But it is nice to if you're cool with ads on a lot of free apps, that's fine. That's one way that developers get paid. We like, having our developers get paid. If you spend a few bucks on an app that you really, really like, it's worth it.
But it does. That kind of gets old, and I do the same thing. It's like at first I don't want to pay any extra. Like I just, I did. I tried a few today, and it's like, oh, I got the free version, and I don't. It's what? It's $2.99. It's not like it's much more, but there's just that initial. I just want the free one, but then next week I'll be paying for the pro version.
And gift card. This is why gift cards to app stores are awesome because you get a gift card and you're just like, I'm gonna buy all the cool apps.
Yes.
So that's good for the holidays. Give your friends a gift card. Suggest some astronomy apps. Get them into astronomy. That's a good way to share.
Take your device outside.
Take your device outside.
Our motto.
You will never hear this from a radio astronomer. Take your device outside, unless you're at a radio observatory, because then we will yell at you. So, if you.
That's a whole different thing.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. Don't a basic common courtesy if you're observing and bring your phone out. Don't keep it super bright. Don't wave it around. You're gonna ruin other people's night vision. Keep it low. Keep it in front of you. Dim the brightness on your screen. If you do have an app that'll redden your screen, there are a couple. I know there's a desktop app called Flux which reddens your screen as it gets darker. I have one called Twilight on Android, which reddens your screen as it gets darker. It ties in with the sunset. You can just put a red filter on, all kinds of things. So just be courteous using your mobile devices outside.
It's a very dark site with astronomers. They can get a little testy.
Dude, not even the TAs at your astronomy lab.
Bright white lights around. That can get kind of dangerous. Yeah.
Your TAs will. We've gotten a little shouty. But yes, if you're in a radio observatory, just turn it off. Just do us a favor. There is nothing you can do. Just turn it off. If you're at Green Bank, these things give off lots of radio light, radio radiation, radio waves, and that will mess with radio observers. So just turn it off. Not much you can do about it. So unless it's a sanctioned star party like they do once a year at Green Bank. That not many of you will find yourselves in a radio quiet zone, but if you do, just turn your cell phone off. One more thing, my plea is for app developers to make a Google Sky version for these. I really, really want a sky map to pop up, and it's charging right now in my Google Glass. The screen has to be dim. It has to be dim. Helps if it's red, but I think that would be pretty cool. So if any developers are thinking of doing some astronomy on Google Glass, I will be your first beta tester. Let's do that.
There you go.
That's my plea.
Nice.
My programming is terrible. I think that's it. I think we've got we've got Tom looking for one more. There's an app that shows the multispectral sky from radio to the gamma ray. That would be cool. I know that lots of planetarium programs now involve that. But Tom, go ahead and message me that if you don't get it before the show ends, and we'll include that in the list. I think that's it for our show. I think we've identified not all the astronomy ads. I'm sure we missed your favorite. I'm sorry. please join in the comments on the blog post and add in your favorites, because get a nice list going here. Get some good recommendations.
Yep.
So sounds good. All right. Our usual schedule for Hangouts is Friday is the Weekly Space Hangout at noon Pacific. We will undoubtedly be talking about the supernova in M82 and other things that happened. Other stuff that happened in the universe. There's some nice panoramic images coming from the Chang'e, I'm pronouncing that wrong, the Chang'e lunar lander. There's been some discoveries of the gas filaments in the cosmic web, and there will be other stories, so we'll be talking about those stories. Sunday night is the virtual star party, where you can discover a supernova and not even know it, apparently.
I know. Just goes to show you, sometimes you don't know everything you're looking at.
Yeah, so those of you who were watching Sunday night, you all saw the supernova and didn't notice it, but it's okay. I wouldn't have noticed it either. So yeah, Sunday night's a virtual star party after dark, I think after 6 p.m. Pacific.
So they'll be looking at it.
I'm sure they'll be looking at it again.
They don't know yet how long it might hang around, right? Or have there been some... The
estimate I'm seeing is that... so what I saw from the Astronomer's Telegram, where they announced the spectrum of the supernova, saying it was a Type 1a, it's a white dwarf supernova, it best fit a previous supernova spectrum from 14 days before it hit peak brightness. So that means if it's similar to that one, we've still got another 13 to 14 days before it's at its brightest. So it's still going up. We've got a good couple weeks to observe this. That doesn't mean, slack off and don't go look. Go look as soon as you have clear skies. So I'm sure they'll be looking at it with the virtual star party, because they caught it last week and didn't even know it.
And it's near the Big Dipper, is that right?
It is near the Big Dipper. Universe Today has on their article about it, they have a map that'll help you find M82. I've honestly never found it myself, because on its own it's pretty dim. I'm usually in light polluted skies, so yeah. I'm no Gary Ganella. He's
find the Big Dipper and then go from there.
Find the Big Dipper, go from there, and we're definitely a telescope target, maybe a binocular target. I don't want to get too hyperbolic. So that's Sunday night, virtual star party. Monday at 12 Pacific is Astronomy Cast. I know recently they did an episode about Arthur C. Clarke, so I don't know what they're coming up with this week, but Astronomy Cast still going strong on Mondays. Back around to Wednesday, we have Learning Space. We are in the process of booking lots of interesting and fascinating guests for the next few months. People that are involved in... Yeah, I know, I've been flooding...
Nicole's been sending out emails at a frightening speed.
So if
lots of good guests coming up, yeah.
If you know somebody, or if you yourself have an astronomy or science, education, or outreach project or thing to talk about, email us at educate@cosmoquest.org, and we'd be happy to talk to you, put you in the schedule if you want to come chat.
If you're developing any apps, let us
know. You're
know.
Developing an app, there you go.
Talk about them with us.
I've developed an app. Yeah, well, so that is it. I think that's our show for today.
Okay. Very fun. Thanks.
All the apps. I'm going to go download like 5 more apps. Oh, Tom just came in at the Invisible Universe on the Play Store. There
Oh,
you go. There's the multispectral app. We're going to add that to the list. Awesome. All right. Now we're
okay.
done.
Have fun with apps. All right. Good
Thank you,
night.
everybody.
All
See you
right.
next
Good night.
week.
This great picture, and then there's a nice little paragraph or two written by an astronomer that tells you a little bit about it, and it's just interesting, and it's not always what you think. Like for today, for example, there's a lovely snowy picture of the superstorm of 1938, something like that. Anyway, so sometimes it's weather, more weather related, but it's Earth, space,
Earth's a planet.
yeah, so it's all connected. And then just always really interesting. So the app, of course, will download that picture, and then you can hit a little button, and it'll flip over, and it'll give you that information about it. So that's just kind of a nice, easy one. You can get, every morning, see what the picture of the day is right on your phone. So that's just it's kind of a cool thing. It'll archive a bunch of pictures, so you can hang on to your favorites.
Cool.
And so that's just kind of a nice, easy one that is fun.
So APOD, Astronomy Picture of the Day, has been around since, I want to say, the mid-90s.
It has.
Maybe.
It's
It started, we should have them on the show. I feel like we may have, not Learning Space, but I feel like they run another hangout at some point that I saw about how they were doing Astronomy Picture of the Day way before all this social media thing and these mobile things. So it's been going for many, many years. Great way to get a gorgeous astronomy image every day. So
right.
Looks like there's both Android and iPhone apps for that. So
yeah, apps and different sorts of environments where they can be used, different age groups, things you've done with them. I mean, all of that kind of stuff would be great to have, and would be a little more than we could just post. Yeah, on the event. So yeah, a blog would be excellent.
So I'll blog on the. So if you go to cosmoquest.org, click Educate and Educator Zone, there's a blog over there, and I will post all the links there for sure afterwards, probably tonight. I think I'm done blogging about the supernova in M82 for now. So
the what?
The what? There was a supernova? The what? Yeah, if you didn't already hear, there was a supernova that went off in M82. It was announced early this morning, U.S. time, although it's been seen as early as several days ago in many amateur astronomer images, including the virtual star party.
Yeah.
So good job, guys. Seeing it on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So be sure to follow that news. That's going to be pretty exciting the coming days and weeks ahead.
Right.
For your M82. And the Weekly Space Hangout, I'm sure we'll talk about it for like half an hour. So
yeah.
Friday.
Yeah.
If you want to leave a comment on this show, there are too many places to do that, so we're going to ask you if you are watching this to use the Q&A app on Google+. If you're watching this somewhere, it should have the little Q&A app on the Hangout event page. We went through this madness last week on the Space Hangout. Ta-da!
Hey, ta-da!
Hello.
Oh,
Hi, everyone. Yeah, it worked. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's Learning Space. I'm Nicole Gallucci, your postdoc at CosmoQuest, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host in the office next door, Georgia Bracey.
Hello, everybody.
And we are going to talk about some of our favorite apps for doing and learning astronomy. I've gotten a whole bunch of suggestions from you guys already via the comments in various places and Twitter and the whatnots. So I'm going to tell you right off the bat now, I will not be sharing any links until the end of the show because I have about 18 tabs open right now, and you don't want to sit here and watch me typing. So I will share this entire list of all your favorites after the show on, oh gosh, where are we going to do that? I guess on the event page. I can go ahead and edit the description on the event page, the description of the Hangout on the CosmoQuest event page. I'll add it there. Maybe I'll do a blog post too. So go to
Yeah.
Let's do a blog on the Educator Zone. We don't do that enough.
No, and that would be a great thing, and it would be good if you guys want to comment because you want to add some more tips and advice about using some of these.
You use the Q&A app. Yeah, we need a blog. things.
Oh, to comment.
Yeah, so use the
Where
Q&A
to
app, or if you're on the event page on Google Plus, you can use that as well. I will watch those two sources as carefully as I can. If you tweet at me or post on YouTube, I might see it, I might not. So the best place is the Q&A app and the event page on Google Plus, so we can add your recommendations, answer your questions as we go along. I think that's it for top matter. Do you have one you want to start with, or would you like me to start?
Well,
Oh, by the way, so we're talking mobile apps here, although we may talk about a few more computer apps. She has an iPhone, I have an Android, so we've got those two pretty much covered. We're going to try.
yeah, well, I would say I have an older iPhone, so
Okay.
as I was going through things today, I noticed, oh, this one is better with the more current iPhone, which I don't have. But I'll start with a simple one, though, that I always liked. I love the app for the astronomy picture of the day, the APOD app, because it's, and I don't know, I mean, I should try to pull it up on my phone, but maybe that won't be as helpful as it sounds.
And that's pretty easy
But
to
the
find.
APOD app,
Yeah.
right, I know, they're easy to find and easy, Google it and you know where to download it and all that. But it's great because if you like the APOD, the picture of the day that you can just see on the website, it's always some gorgeous, you can share, of course, you can share the image, all that good stuff, get all the information about it. So I like it. I like it a lot. It's fun and it's easy.
I'm going to go into my science folder. What's that? You check it every day?
Changes every day. So yeah.
So I'm going to go into my science apps folder on here. And I'm gonna go right up front and promote our new CosmoQuest app. Android users, this is in the Play Store. iOS users, it is coming. Like, as soon as they approve it, it is coming. It's been written. This app is Earth or Not Earth. So, there we go. Earth or Not Earth. Ta-da! So we've been talking about this for a few weeks since Joseph Moore finished this up as his master's project for computer science. And he just put version 2, I think, on the Android store yesterday. So if you've already downloaded it, you want to download it again. Bunch of new features, including the ability, hopefully, if it works, thank you, Guido, the ability to save it on your SD card, because when you start downloading lots of images, it can take up a bit of space. You can, I think there's also a new capability that allows you, to play the game without signing in using your CosmoQuest login. But if you have a CosmoQuest login and you sign in with that, you can save your high scores between devices and share them with your friends on Facebook and brag about it and all that fun stuff. Basically, this is a game. It's a game and an educational app.